Dak's playing at an MVP level. He's been terrific. And Ryan Horvath and I, Paul, were talking about, like, Dak MVP is maybe like this the time to bet it potentially because, here, let me pull up the Cowboys' schedule real quick. So obviously you're at Denver this week. Home against Arizona coming up next week on Monday night. Then bye week at the Raiders. And then you play home against the Eagles, home against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, at the Lions, right? So the reason why now would be the time to jump in is because if they beat Denver and he has a great performance, then they get the Cardinals and the Raiders after that. Probably should play well in those games. And then, I mean, going into games against Philly and Kansas City and Detroit, I mean, if he wins those games, play well, like, you know, I think now is the time to buy in on Dak, while you can get 20-1, 25-1. So, look, those are some good teams, obviously, when they play Philly and Kansas City and the Lions, and you have to win a certain amount of games to win MVP, and I understand that's part of it, but I like this Dallas team, Paul. I really like their offense. I like the way that they're playing. And as you mentioned, like, the defense can kind of only get better at this point. We're far enough removed from the season where they know what it's going to be like without Micah. I think Eberflus finally stopped playing so much zone, and he's starting to go to man a little bit more. So I don't know. Like, Dak MVP, is that a thought for you at all, or do you not just think they're going to win enough games?
Yeah, Dak at 22. I understand the case, and I think it'll look great in a couple weeks. Like, I'm on the Cowboys this week. I think they beat the Broncos. I think they have to beat the Broncos for this to even be a conversation.
Yeah,
I think over like 3 weeks from now, that bet will look great, and then you're going into like, you know, you've got opportunities against the Chiefs, against the Eagles, against the Lions. I don't think you win enough of those. And I do think the wins become an issue. I think he will be – I did this with Dak MVP, what was it, 2 seasons ago? And he was in the team photo, but he didn't get there. I think he has the chance to get in the team photo. I don't think he can get there. I don't think the wins will be there. I don't think like a top 2 seed in the NFC will be there. At 22, I can't get there. At 22, I understand the case. And I think, like I said, I think it'll look great in a couple weeks. And this would be the time to buy. But at the end of the day – just don't think I wouldn't make that bet because I don't think it has enough of a chance of winning to bet it at this price. I just kind of looked at Jordan Love. Like, can he go nuclear in the second half of the season and make a push for MVP? Like, they obviously have to win this in prime time. And again, against what is not a good Steelers defense, like that case is like that path is there. Panthers, then you got the Eagles in prime time, Giants, Vikings team that's broken, Bears a couple more times. I don't know. Again, at 25, I couldn't really get there, but at least like if this is the, you know, Jordan Love not living up to expectations, but he takes off, and we've kind of seen that at times, like in 8-game spurts. Is there a case to be made there? Because do you tell me if you feel like I'm wrong or you feel the same way? And I guess you do if you're making the Dak case. MVP is kind of open right now. You're looking at the prices on some of these players, and like, yeah, I guess it could be just Mahomes or Allen. Drake May, I can't really get there. And again, we made a case for the Browns. Baker with all those banged up pieces, I don't think that's going to get there. Stafford, no. Goff, I don't think so. Daniel Jones is 22-1. That's never happening. Justin Herbert is not going to happen. It's just like I don't know where. Like maybe it is just Mahomes and Allen. But if you were going to look at like a Jordan Love or a Dak, maybe is there a path there?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, if you think Love's going to go on a tear in the second half, certainly got the price to do it. I kind of think it is going to just end up being Mahomes personally this season.
Yeah.
But we'll see what ends up happening.